Hi, I'm Teacher Pearl, and I'm going to teach you a math lesson for today. So let's begin.
Welcome learners, Quarter 2, Week 5, School Year 2020-2021. Ang tanong, what is our topic? Solving problems involving linear functions. Okay, so this is our first activity, crossword puzzle. Okay, so let us answer the first question, 1 across. 1 across is composed of 12 letters. It is a method of replacing one by the equal value. Again, a method of replacing one by the equal value. What is this? Okay, so the answer is substitution. Okay, for 2 down, a place of arrival of something. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. It is composed of 11 letters with letter S on the third place, a place of arrival of something. Okay, so the answer is destination. Next, let us have, okay, this one, 7, 7 across, composed of 5 letters with letter D at the last, at the last place. The distance covered over a period of time. The distance covered over a period of time. What's the answer? Okay, so the answer is speed. Okay, so next, number 4, 4 down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is composed of 8 letters. For 4 down, a letter or symbol that represents the unknown. So what's the answer? So the answer is variable. Okay, for number 8, this one, we have 5 letters with letter P at the second to the last. A process for solving the no. A diagram that shows result. A diagram that shows result. So what is the answer? So I want you to answer this in just a few minutes. Okay, for number 10, let us have 10 down with letter E at the last. 10 down, addition property of equality. It means addition property of equality. Okay, for the 9 across, this one, 9 across, 1, 2, 3, means multiplication property of equality. Multiplication property of equality. Okay, what about this one? 5 down, composed of 2, 4, 6, 6 letters, 5 down. A process for solving the problem. A process for solving the problem. Okay, for number, this one, 3 down, starts with the letter S. 2, 4, 6, 8, composed of 8 letters. A step-by-step process of answering the problem starts with letter S. A step-by-step process of answering the problem. Okay, last one. 6 down. Okay, for the 6 down, composed of 2, 4, 6, 6 letters. A correct order of objects. A correct order of objects. So what's the answer? Okay, so let us reveal the answers for all. Yan. So take a screenshot and check your work. Okay, what is it? Let us have the background information for learner. Every point on the coordinate plane corresponds to pair of coordinates. Any set of ordered pairs constitutes a relation which may also be a function in certain cases. A function that represents a straight line is called a linear function. By identifying the slope of each equation, can you describe the graph of each function below? Okay, for letter A, what is the slope? Yes, the answer is 4. What about the description of its graph? Since 4 is a positive slope, so the graph of this is increasing from left to right. Okay, for letter B, what is the slope? Okay, for letter B, the answer is -6. And since this is negative, so our graph is decreasing from left to right. Okay, for letter C, what is the slope? We have only f of x equals 3. As you can see, we have no x here. That's why the slope is 0. So it means our graph is horizontal. Okay, what about letter D? We have x equals -5. So since x is a constant, the slope is undefined. So the graph is vertical. Okay, so those are the answers. Okay, what about this activity? Translate me. So let us match column A with column B. Number 1, the sum of the numbers x and y. The sum of the numbers x and y. Okay, so that is letter B. Number 2, the square of the sum of x and y. The square of the sum of x and y. So the answer is, or the quantity, x plus y squared. Number 3, the sum of the squares of x and y. The sum of the squares of x and y. So what's the answer? Yes, x squared plus y squared. Number 4, 9 less the sum of x and y. 9 less than the sum of x and y. So the answer is letter E, quantity x plus y minus 9. Next, number 5, 9 less the sum of x and y. 9 less the sum of x and y. Yes, the answer is 9 minus the quantity x plus y. Next, number 6, y is the sum of x and y. Y is the sum of x and y. So what's the answer? Yes, it's letter J, 2 times the quantity x plus y. Number 7, tries the product of x and y. Tries the product of x and y. Letter D, 3xy. Okay, for number 8, tries the quotient of x and y. Tries the quotient of x and y. So what's the answer? Yes, the answer is 3 times the quotient of x and y. 3 times the quotient of x and y. Okay, for number 9, the difference between x and y divided by 4. The difference between x and y divided by 4. Yes, it's letter C, x minus y all over 4. Okay, for number 10, 8 more than the product of x and y. 8 more than the product of x and y. Okay, the last answer is 8 plus xy. What are the differences between these two terms? Okay. So independent variables, controlled input value, cost, x value, element of domain. And then for the dependent variables, we have measured, output value, effect or result, fx value, f of x value, and element of range. Okay, so let us have the activity 2. Going to barang Going to a far barangay in Malolos City means riding a multi-cab. The standard fare in riding a multi-cab is 7 pesos for the first 5 kilometers as a flag down rate plus 1 peso for every 1 kilometer. How much is Nathan going to pay if he goes to Bungahan? Okay, so let us have the table of values. Okay, so distance 5 kilometers, 7 you will pay already 7 pesos. If you are going to Luna for about 8 kilometers, you will pay 10 pesos. Agayayan, at 11 kilometers, you will pay 13 pesos. Minlagas, 13 kilometers, you will pay 15 pesos. San Luis, 18 kilometers, and then you will pay 20 pesos. And then for in Bungahan, you are at 23 kilometers away, so you will pay 25 pesos. What is the dependent variable? Yes, the independent variable is the amount paid in peso. What is the independent variable? Yes, the answer is distance in meters. Based on the completed table, would the relation represent a line? Yes. What is the y-intercept? Okay, to get the y-intercept, let us make the x value equal to 0. Set this to 0. So to set this to 0, we will have 5 minus 5. Okay? And also this one, minus 5. Applying APE or addition property of equality. So what is now our slope or y-intercept, I mean? Yes, the y-intercept is 2. What about the slope? Yes, the slope is 1 because we have only 1 peso for every 1 kilometer. The dependent variable depends on the value of independent variable. One is free to assign values to the independent variable which controls the value of the dependent variable. In this case, the distance is our independent variable while the amount is the dependent variable. A linear function is defined by f of x equals x plus b, where m and b are real numbers. This graph is a line. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So our answer is f of x equals x plus 2. Our m or slope is 1 and our y-intercept is 2. Okay, so uh, if our input is 23 or the x value is 23, so we will have 23 plus 2 equals 25. How are linear functions used in everyday life? Variable cost. Imagine that you are taking a taxi while on vacation. You know that the taxi service charges 100 peso to pick out your family up from your hotel and another 5 peso per kilometer for the trip. Without knowing without knowing how many kilometers it will be to each destination, you can set up a linear equation that can be used to find the cost of any taxi trip you take on your trip. By using X to represent the number of kilometers and to your destination, and Y to represent the cost of that taxi ride. The linear function would be f of x equals 5x plus 100. Okay, so let us explain. 100 ang babayaran mo na kagad, doon pa lang sa pick up pa lang sa family. Okay? So kahit hindi pa umaandar yung taxi, naka-rate na kagad sila ng 100 pesos na bayarin. Okay. At ang sabi, 5 pesos for every kilometer for the trip. Kaya ito, kung ilang man kilometro ang tinakbo ng taxi, yung multiply lagi yun sa 5 pesos. Okay. So for example, tumakbo na ng 10 kilometers, so we will have 5 times 10, 50 plus 100, 150. Yan ang kagad ang babayaran ng isang pamilya sa taxi. Okay, for the rates. Linear functions can be useful for comparing rates of pay. For example, if one company offers to pay you 450 pesos per week and the other offers 10 pesos per hour and both ask you to work 40 hours per week, which company is offering the better rate of pay? A linear function can help you figure it out. The first company's offer is expressed as f of x equals 450x. Okay? Bakit 450x? Kasi nga, per week ito, 450 per week. So, yung x natin or ang ating independent variable ay yung number of weeks. The second company offer is expressed as f of x equals 10 times 40 times x. Kasi 40 hours po siya per week na ang bawat oras ay 10 pesos lamang. After comparing the two offers, which company is offering the better rate of pay in weekly basis? So, which do you think is better? Okay, very good. The first company, because per week, he or she will receive 450 pesos for 40 hours. While the second one, you will only have 400 pesos. Budgeting. A party planner has a limited budget for an upcoming event. She'll need to figure out how much it will cost her client to represent the space and pay per person for meals. If the cost of the rental space is 780 pesos and the price per person for food is 100 per person, a linear function can be constructed to show the total cost, expressed as f of x and x for the number of people in attendance. The linear equation would be written as f of x equals 100x plus 780. With this equation, the party planner can substitute any number of the party guests and give her client the actual cost of the event with the food and rental costs included. Okay, so let us explain. Okay, so kahit na wala pang tao o wala pa yung pakakaining tao o attendees, ay meron na kagad siyang bayarin na 780 pesos doon sa pagre-rent na yan ng space. Okay? Ngayon, ang bawat kakain dito ay babayaran niya ng 100 pesos. Okay? 100 pesos per person. So, itong X natin ay ang number of persons na darating. Okay? So, kung ilan man yung number of persons na darating, i-multiply niya yung 100 na pagkain plus yung bayad sa renta na 780. So, for example, meron tayong 5 persons na dumating, ay meron tayong 100 times 5, 500 plus 780. So, meron kang babayaran na 1,280 na babayaran nung magre-rent kay party planner. ay babayaran ng party planner doon sa ah, oo, babayaran ni planner. Making predictions. One of the most helpful ways to apply linear equations in everyday life is make predictions about what will happen in the future. If a bake sale committee spends 200 pesos in initial startup costs and then earns 150 pesos per month in sales, the linear equation is f of x equals 150x minus 200 can be used to predict cumulative profits from month to month. For instance, after 6 months, the committee can expect to have netted 700 pesos because 150 pesos per month. Okay? And we have 6 months now. So 150 times 6 is 900 minus 200 na naging puhunan nila. So, the answer is 700. So, yan ang kinikitang 700 na yan ay profit na yan for 6 months. Okay, what about kung isang taon or 1 year? So, you will just multiply 150 by 12 minus 200. So, what is now the answer? Okay, very good. The answer is 1,600.